So something like my blind friend Philip could be a missing element in the fissure, blocking, obstructing his thermal receptors. Philip would have thermal receptors for eyes, but is missing a compound because he has a female recessive gene. Therefore, I'm not sure what you would need, testosterone possibly or estrogen, one or the other, because in asexuality you can revert chemical to chemical, and you recycle, resuture, and it's kind of funny to be asexual because you can pretty much convert any element into any element by yourself in your own fissure. Would be part of the anatomy of the cell. So something like Cricky would be something very similar. Would simply need some more groundbreaking agents to resuture into stem cells. So that's all it is. Would need suturing elements, a hormone boost. Whether he wants to be a male or female, would need the hormone boost for it, and would need the rest of the suturing eight ingredients, so crystal meth, lithium, zinc, and CBD treatment for chlorophyll for in Ricky's case to properly revolve around the suturing ingredients to better do stem cells. Basically, a daily ingestion of all the cocktail would have all the suturing ingredients to create stem cells. We would never be able to completely fix someone who's disabled, but you can better his condition with more suturing ingredients to obtain the stem cells. The only way would be a permanent fix would be if we kill them and rebuild our bodies with Halo, because that would be a direct transition, carbon to methane to carbon, would negate most of their polarity levels or denotation in amounts on their genome would fall back to the recessive gene, basically to create stem cells out of that recessive gene. So, for example, to cure Philip or Ricky, we would have to put them down and rebuild their entire body from fission therapy, and then they would be cured, but they would be female. They would be girls. That's what is the problem. There's simply too many female in the environment, and the asexual genes are splicing to create males out of females, creating an imbalance in the cells. Basically, you have to treat these disabilities as a cancer, or it's the only way. It's the only way. You can't reverse the polarity. You can't never find a fix. Because in asexuality, you revolve around the needs of your environment. So the only way to fix it would be to rebuild their body from the ground up. Putting them into the valid denotation amounts, or in the recessive gene category. Restructuring their whole DNA footprint with laser. That would be the only way to fix someone like Ricky Berwick. Via laser. Would have to atomize and restructure and reatomize. Deatomize and reatomize. That's the only way I see we could fix his disability. The temporary fix would be stem cells. More stem cells in the body. So would be a daily intake of restructuring ingredients. Then the body would cell in itself start to produce more stem cells. And at that point, it would be to that person's decision on what sex they would occupy. For example, Ricky is completely bisexual in his denotation. So it's up to him to decide if he wants estrogen or testosterone, right? To begin with. But we still need the hormones to balance itself out. It would always revolve around recycling the hormones. Basically, I could inject Ricky with testosterone and he would end up with estrogen because the body would filter it for his current needs, for his current mood.